Now we're going to bring on our next guest, Sunny. We're very excited. I love Sunny. He's from Nigeria, which is very exciting. So let's get Sunny on the screen and see what he's got. Oh, there he is. Hi, Sunny.
Hello.
You guys, Sunny just makes me smile. He always has this big smile, and he's got such a positive energy. And his posts, by the way, are phenomenal. Follow him on LinkedIn. Really interesting conversational posts, and also just some very good motivational posts that he has, that he shares with us. And he's a leadership specialist. A great book that I'll let him tell you about it. But Sunny, let's start off. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, it's so nice to be here. Ali took up a few minutes of my time, but that's okay because I like the things he had to say. I'm
Absolutely.
Sunny. I'm speaking to you from Nigeria. I'm a very sunny person, as you can see. I like to talk about leadership. I speak eloquently. I'm one of the greatest speakers you ever heard. That's guaranteed.
So true, though.
I am born to speak. I love speaking. The more I speak, the happier I become. So that is why I speak a lot. So speaking for me is my life. I don't really need an invitation months in advance. I can receive an invitation 2 hours before a major event and speak so coherently that they think that I was invited 2 years ago.
I love it.
I'm a preacher. I love to preach. I'm an energy expert. You can call me a multi-talented person because I am really good with a lot of different things. The easiest way to follow me on LinkedIn is by the hashtag Sunny. I am the most popular Sunny on LinkedIn. So when you go hashtag Sunny,
true story.
You find me.
That's so true. And actually, you've given me some of my favorite kind of analogies for leadership, and you have one that's about lions, and
yes,
and about how many. Can you share that analogy with us?
Okay, I'm happy to share. You know, some of you are not here during our last show when I was here in June, so it's good for me to share with you about the power of learning leadership from observing lions. I love lions. It's my favorite animal on the planet, and I could watch lion documentaries for hours on end. Now, when you watch the lion, you can learn lots of leadership clues from the lions. The lion is the most powerful animal in the jungle, the king of the jungle, literally. But the lion knows how to use strength. The lion teaches that the fact that I am strong does not mean that I exercise strength with every opportunity that it presents itself. The lion does not go out looking for opportunity to exercise strength. The lion exercises strength when there is need to display its power. So that is why you see that when the lion needs to feed, it does not go for the strongest animal in the flock. Why? Energy conservation. There is no need to spend 50% of my energy trying to get prey when I can spend 5% of my energy to get prey. So a lion is the strongest. All of the animals in the herd or the flock are afraid of it. They are running away when they see it coming, but it looks, it studies, it watches, and then it picks the laziest animal in that bunch and goes for it.
So it's so true, though.
It can get the strongest animal, but it does not go for the strongest animal. That is why many people fail in leadership, because they think, erroneously so, that a leader is somebody who always appears every time trying to show that he or she is strong. But the lion says, no, I am the king of the jungle. But I don't have to go after the strongest animals when I need to feed, because I can feed on a lazy animal and still be full and still enjoy my delicious meal. So that is just a leadership clue that you can
and just
learn
so we're clear,
from the lion as a human being.
Right. And leaders, just so that we're clear, we're not telling you to eat your employees. Okay? Please do not do that.
Please don't do that.
But no, it's a great lesson, though. You don't always have to be overpowering. You don't always have to, prove your dominance and things like that. In fact, leadership is service, right? All of us here have managed. All of us here have led. Dan, you actually have great great insight into the servitude of leadership. So I'll let you kind of take that one.
Well, it made me think when Sonny was telling that story, and I remember hearing it last time. But it's the teacher appears when the student's ready, right? So
Yes.
we always hear things differently. We experience things differently depending on where we are mentally, physically, and all those things. And I hear in that line story, I heard it before, but hear it again, and kind of how, Sonny, you kind of push that out. Also, lions don't they don't eat they don't kill every. When they're eating, it doesn't necessarily mean that they killed that prey, right? Sometimes they allow, and there's a hierarchy in animals too, right? There's different, different. I'm assuming different lions are good at hunting, and others are good at protecting, and so understanding that
Yes.
you don't, as a leader, you don't have to be involved with everything, but your job as a leader to prepare your team to handle anything depending on their strengths is part of being a leader. I love that analogy.
That is powerful. That's powerful. Like in the Lion Kingdom, the lioness is the hunter.
Mm-hmm.
The lion is the defender.
Yes.
The lion sits. It looks lazy. It sits lazily. The lioness goes to hunt, brings the kill. The lioness tells the cop, "Hey, stay away. That is going to eat."
That's right.
They give him time. They give him time to eat because they know he's not going to eat all of it. Because some leaders today, you give them time to eat, they can eat for 10 years and share nothing with anybody. But the lion eats, they know he's going to share. So he eats a part of it, and then it leaves and goes to watch the territory. While the lioness and the cubs are feeding, the lion is watching. Any intruder that dares come near while his family feeds will see his strength.
Right.
So that's a powerful tool to learn that as a leader. Like I talk about delegation in my book. Delegation is powerful. One of the problems we have today in leadership is micromanagement, and people generally micromanage because they do not have the capacity to delegate.
Yes,
and
delegation is key.
They struggle with delegation because they think that they know it all, but there is nobody who knows everything. The more you realize how you need people, the stronger you are, because people in your team allow you to feel the place of your strength while they feel the places of your weaknesses. So when they feel the spaces of your weaknesses and you feel the place of your strength, then as a team, you're strong together.
That's right. That's right. And this analogy kind of touches on another aspect of leadership that's so important, is putting your team first. Okay. And this is something that you should be pursuing. And guys, when you're interviewing for a job, talk to the leader, talk to your manager, get to know them before you come on. Because a bad manager will kill a job. You can have the best job in the world and have a bad manager, and it'll shut everything down and just make it awful. So don't get to know the managers, but also managers. It is your job to take care of your people first, foremost, before anything else. It is your job to make sure that they are taken care of. And this is something I've watched a lot during COVID. Is people, and by the way, Sonny, you're getting lots of compliments, and our people are complimenting you in our comments.
Thank you.
and yes, definitely connect with him on LinkedIn, by the way. But during COVID, so many companies did layoffs while never sacrificing at the top. And what I mean by that is the owner, CEO, whoever still had 3 yachts and 4 Ferraris and 2 houses, and they're laying people off. And I'm going, wait a minute. That's not right either. These people take care of you.
There.
Yeah. These people take care of you day in and day out. Yeah. And
I've thought about it, sorry to cut you, Catherine. I've thought about it quite a while since COVID hits, because I see that many organizations, many CEOs have come to the difficult decision to lay off people. And to a point, I understand that some companies can't help it. It's a rigorously difficult decision they have to make because of the situation that we find ourselves in. But there are companies that have thrived during this period.
Yes.
And there are companies that enjoyed lots of profits in the past. Usually in companies, when the profits boom, the CEOs and the shareholders share it all alone. When there is a crisis, then the CEOs call the staff and say, let's have your salaries, or we're going to lay off some staff. That's very selfish, because when there is rapid increase in profits, many CEOs, like you said, get a private jet and get a yacht. And some of these CEOs have staff working for them in those companies who can pay their bills.
Right. Yeah,
it's
tragic.
Working for you cannot pay their bills, and you've got 3 yachts and 1 private jet, and you have hotel rooms, difference in America and in Germany and France. You are one person, you have a hotel room reserved, you go there twice in a year, they reserve the hotel room for you, the hotel suite as the case may be, for you whenever you come there, and your people who work for you cannot pay their bills, then you are a very dangerous CEO to work for.
Yeah, and I would add to that and say that
so
I don't know that
brings
necessarily the leader's responsibility to try to fix all of those problems for people like that. I believe that it's the leader's responsibility to be aware of it, offer suggestions, to listen to it, to have different components in place to give assistance to employees. Because at the end of the day, there may be some potential psychological or just issues that person has, that if they were listened to and given opportunities to reach out and given just space to kind of work through some of that, a leader's job is to really dive into their people, right? Catherine, you were talking about taking care of your team. Taking care of your team is a really nice buzz phrase to say, but to actually do it is very difficult. Takes a ton of intentionality and time and sacrifice. And the good leaders that do that well, give space for that time and sacrifice, because that's what it takes.
The best leaders that I've known, in fact, one of them, Joel Knapp, he's been on the show several times, give so much to their staff, and they listen to their staff, and they spend time with their staff. And that's so crucial. And guys, I mean, and if you're looking to get into leadership, this is something to keep in mind, that it's about them, not you. Everything that you do is in service of them, and to help them, and to listen, and to help them grow, and to keep their needs in the front of your mind at all times. And you can't fix every problem. I've worked for a crummy company where they didn't always want to pay people on time, and they were just really shady with some stuff. And I eventually quit because I couldn't take it anymore. But I did everything I could to intervene and to help my people and to listen to them and to make their lives better along the way, even including helping them find better jobs.
Sure, yeah. I mean, hey, Sonny, I wanted to ask you, one of your most recent LinkedIn posts, you talked about what do you want to be remembered for? And I think this is kind of what we're talking about here. And when I was going back and looking at some of the content you pushed out, you said, what do you want to be remembered for? And so I'm curious if you could share a little bit about what that means to you. And at the end of the day, what does Sonny want to be remembered for?
Okay. I'm going to try to answer your question, react a little bit to what you said initially in response to what I was saying. And then I will, at the same time, try to bring us, because I am looking at the time on my screen and I see that the time is moving away. And I have not said one word about the topic that Catherine gave to me on the Career Launch website, which is ethics and motivation in leadership. So first of all, let me say, just to conclude what I was said about the properties that the CEOs have. CEOs are the owners of the company. They are the originators of the business. They have the right to enjoy the proceeds of the business. But when there is boom, CEOs should share. It is a quality of a great leader. When there is boom, give people a little lunch here and there. There are people working for you. They usually go out to take lunch every time they come to work during the lunch break time. But when you see that there's a boom, shock the people on a Friday, a good shock. for that matter, on a Friday, for instance. Everybody don't go out for lunch today. If you may have something for you. So that's the kind of thing that the CEO can do. When there is boom, you don't have to share all of your profits with them. They're not shareholders, they're staff, they're on salaries, but do something, little things that you do here and there, make people become really strong in this area of moral as they work with you. And then talking about what you will want to be remembered for, it is very important to live life to the place of fulfillment. And you as a human being cannot be fulfilled doing things for yourself only. You will experience fulfillment when you do things that impact the lives of other people. That is why I said, what would you want to be remembered for when you are gone? Because as strange as it is, as harsh as it is, a reality to talk about death comes to all men. One of these days, somebody's going to leave the planet. When you go away, what will people remember you for? People will remember you for the sacrifices that you made for other people. People will remember you for how your pursuit of your personal purpose caused others to become inspired to pursue their own purpose. So in life, ultimately, our greatest satisfaction comes from impacting people. So the third point I'm going to make, because I see that our time is running out, so I'm helping Catherine. By the way, I'm a member of the Career Launch team, so I'm a part of this team, even though I'm coming here today as a guest. The topic today, Dan and Catherine, I've enjoyed my presence here. They haven't got about to it, but our time is almost up. So ethics and motivation in leadership. When I think about ethics, I think about a lot of things, but here's one. When I think about ethics, I think that people usually, when they say somebody is a good leader or a bad leader, they're generally speaking about ethics. They're saying,
right,
he or she is not ethical. When people say somebody is not a good leader or was not a good leader, people are generally saying that person was not ethical. Then when I think about motivation, I think about children, because many people think that when you grow up as a human being, there are things that you must shed. Those are the smart people among us. There are people who think that everything about a child must be shared. But I say in my book very clearly that if you are going to be a consummate leader, there are things that you must take with you from your childhood. For instance, the thing of sleep. When children sleep, they sleep. Many times when we adults pretend to sleep, we don't sleep. Hours, 2 hours, 3 hours on the bed, pretending to sleep, we're not sleeping because we're thinking while trying to sleep. Children never think. They hit the bed, they hit the road, they enter into the universe of sleep and enjoying themselves there. So leaders who are not able to sleep fail a lot, because sleep is your free energy for leadership. So when I think about motivation, I think about children. Why do I think about children? Because I see a lot of adults, when we try to do something and we fail, then we sit down and we welcome discouragement and we give it a seat in our home. But watch children. When a child is trying to take its first step and it falls, the baby falls to the ground, sometimes even gets injured, it cries. Few minutes later, it tries to get up again. She tries to get up again. Why? Babies have an inbuilt self-motivation. They understand the power of walking. They know that as a human being, you will be restricted from so many things if you cannot walk. So even though they walk and they fall, they get up again. Watch a baby. Take your time. After today, watch a baby trying to walk. They can fall 50 times in 1 week. And 50 100%. Times they get up and try to walk again. Why? Because that self-motivation tells them you have to keep trying until you get it. So we are living a very difficult time. People have lost jobs, people have lost loved ones, people have lost livelihoods. And so I know that this program is coordinated and arranged to help people, to encourage people in such a difficult time as this. And job loss and job search are two very big things in the lives of human beings. If you lose your job, it's a big thing. If you're searching for a job, it's not a tea party. It's not an enjoyment. It's a search. It's strenuous. It causes problems in the hearts of people when they apply here and apply there. And sometimes the human resources people don't get back to them, or they get back to them and the first word in the email, unfortunately, after careful consideration, you have not been
Oh,
So
Sunny's frozen on us,
that's
but
devastating to
there we
receive.
go.
So
Yeah,
emoji
and
is
thank you,
Can you hear
thank
me
you,
now?
Sunny.
Okay.
Yeah, now we can hear you, but
Can
we
you
got
hear
to
me
say
now?
bye now. So we're gonna
Okay.
we're gonna say bye. But everybody, please connect to Sunny. He's so motivational. He posts a lot of wonderful content. Check out his book. You can figure out how to. He has the links on his LinkedIn, so definitely check that out. It's a terrific guy. We have some questions here that we're going to answer real quick before we bring on our next guest. So Dominic asked, how do we set aside time to engage with employees when work volumes are too much? Dan, I'm gonna let you take this one. Actually, this is one of your favorite topics, is time organization. So
yeah, so I look at this from two perspectives: one from the employee and one from the employer. First, from the employee, we have got to start demanding this of our leadership. We've got to start demanding their time, and sometimes they need our help understanding what that actually looks like, and what you need from them. Oftentimes, I refer to this as managing up. So letting your leader know. Sometimes you have to take the initiative to let your leader know, hey, I need more of your time. I need more development in this area. If you can't give me the time I need, I have some opportunities here, some different trainings I'd like to attend. I have different developmental. I'd like to go shadow with this person, come up with solutions into that plan. But oftentimes we have to manage up. And then the other side of that is the employer. If you're in a leadership role, your number one priority is to engage with your employees. So whatever work volume you have is number two.
yes.
So you can't, in my mind, you can't not have time for your number one priority. So, I say that with this thought additional to that, which is you got to rethink how you organize your day, your week, whatever it is, to reprioritize your people over everything else. And I know that is easy to say. That's what my comment earlier was to Sunny. Like, to be an incredible leader is hard. It is tough. People fail. It is not I have not met a leader yet that does it well every time. In fact, some of the best leaders I know fail constantly, but they recognize it. They get back up, kind of like what Sunny was talking about, and they get back to it. And